All right, guys, I'm back doing this Lincoln 2006. I'll be doing the rear brakes on this one here. We're doing the rear brakes, brake pads, and I've already got the tire off and everything. Took the lugs off and the tires, and we're right here where you can see the calipers. If you notice, the pads are really worn. Seems like it's metal to metal almost down there. It looks pretty bad, but I'm getting ready to hopefully fix that problem for them and everything. It didn't actually damage the rotor because it wasn't doing it for a long period of time. So I'm going to make certain I go ahead and get this here handled for him, so that he will have no problems with that. But it is, that pad is actually worn all the way down here. If you could look, there's nothing on it at all. And I'm getting ready to change those. Now this here, actually, you're going to need a 10 millimeter for the two bolts that goes on the pad, which is right back on the back side here. I've already loosened the bolt. You got one here up top here on this here pad, which is right there, and then you got one at the bottom down there. If you notice, it's at the bottom of this caliber. And I'm sure you could see it, right there. That's it. But like I said, I've loosened them already, and I'm getting ready to take them off. And these here bolts here are going to be a little bit longer than the ones that was on the front, which is good for the rear. But if you notice, the pads on the rear is actually not as large as the one that's on the front, because the front is going to do more of the braking, the stopping, and actually they work harder. So you have larger ones up there. And we got those bolts out. This is your caliber. Remember, I told you you'll need a large flathead screwdriver, or you can have like a little small crowbar or something to be able to pop these off. And remember that your pistons, make sure this see that it popped right off, but see that piston right there, make sure it's pushed back far enough so that when you put the new pads on and everything, you'll have room to put them back on there. So that piston there needs to be pressed in, and this is when your C-clamp comes in. You can just put it on there and just wind it in. I'll show you really fast. But if you notice these pads, I was telling you, they there's no more ceramic on there. They're totally gone. Look at that. That was just metal on metal, and that's not good for your vehicle. So if any of you are doing this, get your brakes done way ahead of time so you won't have a problem with this. But now I'm gonna tell you, if you have financial issues, which some people do, you can't change them as like need be, but maybe you can get with someone and see if they'll maybe credit you or something, because your vehicle is part of your lifeline as far as working, getting to the hospital, emergencies, groceries, taking care of family, just so many things that's needed with these vehicles. Okay, but yeah, so this is it right here. I'm gonna set this down for a minute and go get the new pads. Walked all the way around the vehicle looking for the new pads, and they're right here. Man, it's just one of those days, people. One of those days. We all have them. Okay, and I'm gonna show you really quickly with the new pads how to put them on. Okay, this particular pad here, this one right here, actually is going to, hold on, done got a little dim on us, haven't it? All right, here we go. Now this pad right here actually is going to be the one that goes on the outside. If you notice these here little clamps on the side right there that locks in onto that caliber, like this old one right here. So this one here just shows you that it'll be on the outside, just like that particular one right here, this old one that I'm gonna take off and replace. And the inside that goes on that piston will be this one, because this right here, thing right here, is going to plug. It plugs on the, like, you have to turn it this way, but it plugs on the inside of this piston where this old one is. All right, I'm gonna knock them out. I'm gonna take them out really fast and just show you how they're done. Hold 1 minute. I gotta set it back down. Okay. All right, where we at here? Just happened there. Okay, on this one, once we pop this here pad out, this one right here, and that one, we just replace it with the new ones. Hold 1 minute, please. I don't know what's going on with the view of it. Let me pop this one off. Okay, got that one out. And this here's an old one here that actually pops on the inside where the piston is. getting this here piston winded in so that it would actually give me room to be able to go ahead and put the pads on and put everything back on. It's a 14mm on here. Yep. Loosen that up. Now this one here was out so far that because of the pads had nothing on it, it was metal to metal, that it had locked out, so I actually had to release some of the pressure off of it with the by loosening this particular line right here. But now I need to make sure I tighten it back up too, and that it's setting correctly. done. Pop these here. Just hold on. Let me get up here so you can see it. Pop this new caliber inside of here. Well, the new pad. It actually snaps right inside here. Notice. Okay, got that in. It's sitting in there correctly. And this other one, remember I told you, actually this particular one right here is going to go on the outer side of the caliber. And what it does, you notice I set it on those 2 bars right there, and it just snaps down in place. You have to push it down in place. Let's see if I can do it while I got you looking right here. There we go. I gotta hold this phone. Hopefully you saw me just snap it in. See, those are snapped in right there. And also, now I just gotta put it back in place, put it on. Make sure if you bleed that's tightened back accurately once, even when you put this whole thing back on. You go back over all your bolts and make sure everything is tight, and don't forget, like I told you on the other video, that whenever you put the both sides on, you go and you pump those brakes so that line will tighten up and it'll bleed, and the air and everything is out of it, so it'll stop. Because if you don't, and you've actually pressed the caliber all the way back, you won't have room for it to stop. The brake paddle will go all the way in, and if you got it in drive, it'll keep going until you can pump it up in order for it to stop, and you may run into something. Even if you put it in reverse, the same thing will happen. It will continue to roll. So pump it up, and so that it'll start to work properly, that it'll stop for you. All right, and to put this back on, it'll actually set just like this here, and you just popping it back on where it goes, and then you put your bolts back in place. So hold on now. And see these right here, remember these here just press in right here. They press in out of the way, because sometimes you'll be wondering, you know what, let me see. These right over here, they press in out of the way, because it may not be fitting correctly, and you'll think, okay, well, what's going on? See this thing right here? You can just push it out of the way, and sometimes they'll come back up, and but just make sure you kind of push them over, and once you lean it down here, you'll be able to set it. Okay, and I'll have to use 2 hands to do it, but you see what I'm doing. You got to just lock it back in and put your bolts back in. Hold on, I'm gonna set it down for just a few minutes, well, not even a few minutes. Forgot you got your new lock clips on here too that you got to put on.